2019-20, and okay, how you get that one, and a business opportunity connected to with that. Now for this topic, we have a very learned, very experienced, and a scientist and a technocrat person to discuss with you in detail about the blockchain technologies and artificial intelligence, etc. Okay, so he's basically a mechanical engineer by profession, and he designed various software architecture and various companies work across the globe, and he also worked in one of the entrepreneurs, worked with as a consultant with an entrepreneur who was in the top 30 in the Forbes list internationally. So please help me to welcome Mr. Varun to start the session now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to introduce myself again. I'm a technology architect, and what I do as a profession is that I help young entrepreneurs build their dreams or turn their simple ideas into business with the help of technology and no manpower or no expertise. So I would like to start with one particular technology called block revolution. So give me a moment. Let me just get the remote. So, no, this is not. Yeah. So, can I first ask, how many of us know about blockchain? Is anybody aware about blockchain and this? Perfect. So can I ask you, if my perspective of blockchain would be a little different from yours, would it be contradictory?
Some Japanese gentleman, he established the system, and there is a mechanism to document the business transaction, and it is in the form of Bitcoin. And at the same time, the number of Bitcoin is limited, and there is a way it can be generated as well. If you solve the particular mathematical problem, then you get Bitcoin. So it is the way to record the transaction and the payment mechanism, and at the same time you can generate the Bitcoin.
So you have said a very good thing, but I would like to tell you that I'm going to take you to an understanding where we are going to look at blockchain from a different perspective, because the information you have shared is definitely what is being shared by the media. Now, blockchain is basically a software. Blockchain is the next generation software, I would say. Let's say I have a couple of jargons which I'm going to first introduce, because for certain technologies, jargons are the best way. So one jargon, let me explain what jargon is. Jargon is a word which confuses a common man. Common people don't understand jargons. So I've listed a few. One is data. Data is our pictures, maybe a photograph, maybe a sentence that you post on Facebook. Timestamp. Timestamp is the method of the time that you're recording, the time at which you share the data. Like on Facebook, when we share a picture, we know what time we share this picture, what date we share this picture, which is definitely the timestamp. Going to the next one, hash algorithm. I'm sure we have Instagram users in this room. And we know that when we go eat Arabic food, and we love the place, we're going to hashtag it with Arabic food. This is what is hash algorithm. Then comes cryptography. Cryptography is a very secretive language. There is English or numerical language or data. This can be connected or converted into numerical code. And the last one is, second last one is decentralized, which I'm sure we are aware of Uber. Uber is a very decentralized system where there are cabs. We are taking the cab. The cab driver is providing the service. We are the ones who are suggesting, okay, the cab driver is good. There is no way Uber is going to sit and judge how was the performance of the cab driver or the person who took the cab. So this is practically a decentralized system. And ledger, we spend money, we definitely keep ledger of our expenses. So I'm sure I don't have to focus on that more. So what I'm trying to say is, let's put blockchain in the simple words. It is something with a time clock, a secure identification system, encryption, disciplined data management, and open ledger. All these things put together, it becomes blockchain. So, what is blockchain again? Let's say I'm block 0. This is my post. I'm making a post saying that I'm sharing a picture at maybe December 2nd, 2018, saying with a hashtag saying that Qatar, and I'm saying another hash, let's say Arabic, and the data, which is the photo. This is one block. I have just posted this block on the software of blockchain, and the next person who I just shared it to is a second block, and it goes on. So every person who's making a post with the data which is already within the block, and it's keeping on growing, it doesn't stop, like you can see in the figure, it's keeping on growing. This kind of system is called blockchain. This is done by a software. So, let me explain to you what encryption is. Or, when I told you about cryptography, if you can notice the word fox, the moment it is put into the language of cryptography, it becomes DFCD 3454. Who would understand? It's just a simple word fox. This is the strategy that we saw in World War II. When the Germans were trying to conquer the world, they were sending messages to the entire battalions with the help of cryptography. So anybody who received this message would never understand what was Hitler trying to say. So this is the idea of cryptography. Now, I'm going to explain how blockchain works. If you can see the first one, I'm going to explain with the banking system. The center point is the bank. We are all people who deposit our money into the bank, and everything is accumulated in one single point. We are withdrawing cash from the same point. I'm going to the third one, distributed networks, which is Facebook, where when we share something, it's connected. One friend to another friend, and it goes on. But what we have at the center is blockchain. This is decentralized. If you notice, there is no beginning, and there is no end to it. It keeps growing and growing and growing. It's a never-ending network. But the structure is different. Though all the three are structures of communication, or let's say networking, how different could this be? That is what I'm going to explain. Let's say I'm using a small figure to explain the case of money. Let's say Jim wants to send money to Mary. Jim is in US, Mary is in Uganda. It would take nearly 4 days if I was trying to send, or Jim was trying to send money to Mary. But what happens on blockchain is, Jim immediately posts, I'm sending $100 to Mary. And there is a network of people who's watching my transactions, with or without my permission. That's not my botheration at this point of time, but they just verify Jim does exist. He is in US. And Mary does exist. She's in Uganda. They both are genuine. And they are real people. So let this transaction happen. The moment this transaction is verified, Mary gets the money. This happens in 5 minutes. So we have just changed the way banking would work. Or let's say blockchain has changed the way banking would work. If you want to send money to somebody, it would take 3 to 4 days, especially international waters. But blockchain makes it in minutes. And let me tell you why this is possible. I will take India as an example. If I was to send money from here to India, I need RBI's permission. I need to prove to the Reserve Bank of India, why am I bringing this money in? I need to tell them, I need to pay the taxes. I need to worry about a lot of things. But in blockchain, it is a system which speeds the entire method of operations. Let's say we have a number of people, business people out here, and there are people who work on credit system, consignments. Maybe they have a 30-day credit system because there's a payment period where you need to collect from the clients and then pay to the vendor. With blockchain, the seller gets the money immediately. His business productivity increases because there's no more lack of funding, there is no more delay from the client in receiving the payment. This is how blockchain has changed the world of financing. Now, this is how it actually happens in a cartoon manner. Let's say I'm the guy, I'm verifying the people who are sitting and doing the transactions. I've just verified and made sure, yes, he has sent the money. Well, what happens next? Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm having a small glitch here. Yeah. Okay. So what happens here is that I just made my transaction with the help of a complete stranger. So the people all around the world, or let's say the corporates or the small and medium businesses, they realize blockchain is not just for money. It can be used for payments, yes, definitely. Smart contracts. Let's say I would like to expand my business to Brazil, but I have no manpower. I just have to say what I need on the blockchain, and I'm going to get somebody who's going to work for me. To make sure this person is genuine, I have another complete stranger or a network of strangers who's going to verify this for me. Otherwise, I would be depending on the HR consultancy, I would be depending on somebody else, a third party, to know if this person in Brazil is genuine or not. So what I'm trying to bring out is, this is a way the new generation is thinking, of Generation Y, who were born in 2000. They are called the millennials. They are a hyper-connected community of people. They like smileys. For them, smiley is as good as a happy emotion. So they prefer this kind of a system for doing most of their businesses. That is distributed storage in cloud. While we already know that every time we take a picture on iPhone, it gets updated on the cloud. It's not working as blockchain right now, but it would. Notary, digital identity, gifts and discounts, IoT systems, chain of supply. These are various sectors that is deeply in need of blockchain system. There are a couple of myths about blockchain. People think blockchain is only for the criminals. It is not for the criminals. It is just like a software, just like Windows, or maybe a fancy game that you have on a phone. It's similar to that. You can just use it to get your thing done. Let's say I have an idea. If I was to share my idea on blockchain with zero money, I would have people all around the world to help me build my idea and make it a business. This is the potential of blockchain when it comes to entrepreneurship. Now I'm going to come to cryptocurrency, because there is a huge taboo about cryptocurrency and blockchain. Blockchain is not cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency is basically digital money, and it is like your hard-earned money that you feed into a computer. This computer is changing this entire currency into numericals, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. So what happens is, when I'm using cryptocurrency, there's a huge difference in the way the payment is done. Let's say I'm considering cash. I'm buying grocery from my supermarket, I'm paying as cash. But instead, if I was making a payment with cryptocurrency through blockchain, the payment would be a little different. Though I'm getting my grocery, let's say I've just made a purchase of say 500 USD of grocery. And then there are people within the network who says, the guy who's giving you the grocery is genuine, his vegetables are fresh, his fish is fresh, buy from him. At the same time, there is somebody else at the other end saying that the guy who's buying from the vendor is genuine. He definitely wants fresh vegetables and fresh fish, making my transaction genuine. I know I'm not going to cheat my vendor. The vendor knows the client or the customer is not a fraud too. This is how blockchain makes a big difference. I hope you understand, because there are a lot of business cases where there are a lot of fraud clients, and these fraud clients maybe don't pay up, or they take a product, they come back with complaints. There are a lot of kind of people that we deal around the world. So what I'm trying to narrow it down is that cryptocurrency is definitely one method by which transactions can be changed, because the money is no more a tangible asset on cryptocurrency. It's digital, it's intangible. Going to Bitcoin, because I know there is a lot of lack of clarity even on internet. It's very confusing. Like our sir here, he is right. It was Satoshi Nakamoto. He proposed Bitcoin. He built a software out of blockchain, or I would say he popularized blockchain with his software. What happens is, every time, I did mention, when I'm trying to buy grocery, there is somebody verifying if everything is correct, if the grocer is the right guy, if the customer is the right guy. So what do we give to the people who are helping, or the people who are verifying? So he built a system in which a digital cryptocurrency is generated for the people who's helping in keeping this network clean. This incentive system is called Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is uncontrolled, unregulated, or not moderated by any government, so it is considered illegal. But it is important that we know the difference between cryptocurrency and blockchain. There are many other cryptocurrencies which are legal. Bitcoin is illegal, Litecoin is legal, Ripple is legal, Dogecoin is legal, Purecoin is legal. We are not aware of this because we are only aware when it's a scam or when it's something wrong. But what's happening beyond that is neglected. That's why I'm here, because Sham inspired me to make sure I come to Qatar and explain about how different these things are and how people are correlating this. It has to be differentiated, at least from this moment. Now I'm going to another part, but before that, I would like to make sure that we have understood that blockchain and cryptocurrency are two different things. Can I have any questions? Please. Can I have a mic here, please?
Can we use cryptocurrency as business purpose or online business?
Yes, sir. Provided that it is regulated. Let's say you are in a country which regulates or allows you. Sorry, it's
How can we do it?
well, you have to have the right licensing, which starts with that. And once the licensing is done, you have to make sure that it's a country that supports cryptocurrency. I would suggest US or UK. It's a great place to learn digital money. I would recommend Qatar. I would recommend even India. So you would have to opt a country where you have proper licensing of initial coin offering, and it's an ICO basically. It's another kind of incorporation which is not we're going to be dealing with as entrepreneurs right now. But I will make sure that we have a private session. Would that be fair? Thank you. Can I have another question? Please.
You said the other users verify if the transaction is not fake and genuine.
Correct.
How do they know like it's genuine?
Well, it is a big structure. Like I told you, these people are called the miners, and what they do day and night is totally different from what we do. Let me go back to our previous diagram. Can I have another remote, please? Excuse me. Can I have another remote? I think I have a big battery. So if you notice, in this case, there are many people who is using very powerful equipments like data mining devices, maybe rooms filled with servers and computers, and they keep looking into each and one of these blocks. Every block matters. They're particularly like the detectives. They look, where did the previous guy get this money from? Or where did the guy before that get that money from? It goes on and on. That's why they take it up as a profession. I hope I have answered this.
Yes, but the first transaction, it has no proof it's genuine.
Definitely, you are absolutely right. That is why initially people start with cash transactions or data transfer. Because money is not always what it's used for blockchain specifically. Because money is just one sector where the implementation, like I would say, when we use Windows, we have many applications for Windows. It's just not just for interacting with a computer. In a similar manner, blockchain is a software which can be manipulated according to our personal needs. And we can invite people to become miners. Like just the way Bitcoin is done, there are people, direct selling agents, who sit on the computers every day trying to get new and new miners. I hope that answers the question.
I have a second question.
Okay.
You said the data is encrypted, but all these machines can read it. So it's not a secret encryption. But
That's the idea. The encryption is secret, but the blockchain is transparent. For decrypting a message, you have to be an authorized seller or an authorized part of the company. When you have designated tools, like I told you, we are looking at a very intricate or let's say complicated software. So our limitations or visibility is limited to what we require. So I would say, let's say if you have a particular thing that you would like to do, you could just share it on blockchain. Your requirement is what is split. And this requirement is taken by different people from all around the world. So they have to know what your requirement is. Only the interested people, you can control, you can decide who gets to see what. That's why I said it's a very manipulatable system.
So it cannot be hacked.
Yes, that's what the bottom line is, because if you're using a good cryptography language, it cannot be hacked. But if cryptography is not so gifted, well, I would say you can be hacked. So, can I have another question or should I proceed? Please. Can I have one mic here?
Government is usually worried that cryptocurrency can be used for illegal purposes, right?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because the reason is they found that cryptocurrency, as long as they are getting the tax, they don't mind transactions. When it's not taxable according to government, it is something that's unregulated. So for government, the interest is limited to taxation and accountability. Have I answered the question?
It may not be traced or something.
Yes, see, like I told you, the blockchain, there are a lot of people who, just like you're aware of the dark web, right? There are a lot of people who operate in the dark web with pirated versions or having their own independent blockchain softwares. That is unstoppable, which is why it's connected as illegal. But in terms of regulatory, let's say you have a Qatar license, or maybe let's say you have a new American license for operating a business, it's properly legal. You are totally regulated by the US government, you are a taxable person. Anything that you make out of cryptocurrency or any mode of transactions, it is taxed. That is why they are encouraging the system, but certain countries are yet to learn the technology. That is why they are a little bit worried.
Right.
Will that be all? Can I continue to the next point? Now, going to artificial intelligence, I hope we are all aware that there is a point in life where we always seek information. What we depend on today is Google. But the new generation prefers something more advanced. They need something that is more like a human, who interacts more like a human, who talks back like a human. So I'm sure you're aware of Sophia, the first Android citizen. Okay, so she is the best example of artificial intelligence. She is intelligent, she can guide you, she can give you methods which we never thought of. This is why artificial intelligence became a big breakthrough. I'm going to the part, how artificial intelligence is going to help us. Let's say, it's going to understand what's happening. It's going to ask you, what do you need to know? It's going to tell you, what do you recommend? What should I always do? What can I expect to happen? What can I avoid? And what do I need to do right? It's like this best friend who is too intelligent and is trying to guide you at every point of time. Every time you're making a decision, there's AI to back you up. All you have to think of, is this correct? Is this sensible? Because AI is not going to give you something that is not sensible, definitely. Now going to the applications. We are aware of the simplest applications. Let's say our camera phone. When we try to take a picture, there's a box around our face that makes us look good. Maybe change the color of your skin, your hair, your clothing, your environment. This is all AI. We never thought about it. When we take Google and we say, okay Google, this is AI. It's practically Google that's using speech recognition. Then we have Alexa. Again, it's natural language we are using and Alexa is interpreting. This is again AI. Now going to the simplest method of how we can use AI. Let's say I'm a startup and I have just me and nobody else and I have a website and I want people to see my website, interact with me. So what do? I'm not at the office, I'm not sitting on the computer 24/7. I would use AI. No human would ever know my team size. They would always understand that there is somebody who is willing to answer any moment of the day, which is what we want in business. So I hope you understand how a startup uses bot technology. This bot technology is what? Response. Just like our mess, let's say we have a telephone marketing person, or we have somebody who's going to give a feedback call. Why don't we let AI do it? Why do we need manpower when we have technology? So another application is personal diet coach, which will personally help you build your lifestyle. maybe Lifesum, a fitness tracking app, even Whole Foods. This guides you what to eat, what not to eat. This is all AI. It is becoming a part of our life. Without even us realizing, we are accepting this technology. Let's see, we see that predictive text, the way the things have changed over the period, people are aware. The usage is yet to reach awareness. Let's say I ask my mom, I would like to know about something. She would be like, use Google. She is aware of Google, but she doesn't know how to use Google. I hope you understand. This is the same method. There are people who know about all these things, but they not experience it. We are not realizing that we are practically using it every day. We never give it a name. We just follow every time a corporate puts out something fancy, we enjoy using it. But we never thought, how does this work? Who is talking to me? I'm sure it's not somebody in the office. That's where we could use AI. Going to the part of digital marketing, which was Sean was talking about, imagine that we don't have to do anything. We just have to tell the AI, I need a website, I need to be on social media, I need to be on YouTube, I want to do SEO, I want to do SEM, I want to do everything possible. And AI would do it for you. Who else would? You need many people to get so many things done. For a website, you need a designer, you need a programmer, or maybe you might be an intellectual who knows to use a computer and make your own site. But still, it's taking you time. You're spending something, time or money. Why don't we just set something, a machine, our requirements, and let it do for us? Now going to the most interesting part, which is virtual reality. I'm not sure if everybody has experienced virtual reality, but we will be giving a demonstration tomorrow. Virtual reality is practically, I have the wireframe of New York City out here. We have two people who is in this virtual world at that moment of time. One is playing in the city of New York, while the other one is doing some kind of a running game right in New York. In real life, it is not possible. But with virtual reality, this is possible. You can be on your bed, you can be at your office, you can experience any country, any object, or anything without being there. This is the purpose of virtual reality. Let's say we have a business out here, and I have a client who's sitting in Japan. What I could do is, I could make a virtual reality of my office, my products, my techniques. I could just send a link to the guy in Japan and say, sir, please visit my office. He doesn't have to come all the way to visit me. All he has to do is put on the headgear and he is there. He's a part of my store, he can see my products, and what more could I ask for? I've saved a lot of money and time, not just for the client, even for myself, and I increase my productivity in my business. Because I'm no longer local, I'm global, and my office is global, my team is global, my product is global, everything is global, and they are there. They are right there, when actually they're in Japan. Now, this is the view that you would have. Imagine that we are having an equipment of this sort on our head, and we get to be in multiple places. We have multiple screens. We have our friend AI who's working on the right side, completing something that I designated. On the other end, I'm working on something. And at the same time, I can even invite the next AI and tell them I need this also done. I can see everything working parallelly. All I need to do is take a 360-degree turn. Where would I get this kind of comfort? Only in virtual reality, not in real life. So what's happening right now is, this is the top tech that's happening right now. Now comes the new generation. How are they going to use it? They are going to use it to visualize an idea. Let's say we all have ideas out here, but we are not sure, is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? So they tend to use this even for building a house, building a business, building a new product or anything. How do we use AI? AI will help you not only be your assistant or your manpower, it could even help you find the right manpower. You don't need a HR anymore. You don't need a HR team. You don't need an HR consultancy. Because you have AI, who's your personal assistant, your HR, your admin, your everything that you need. Another application, how blockchain would help. Blockchain could get you a job in 60 seconds. Where in the world can we get a job in 60 seconds? That's what I'm trying to explain. In blockchain, it is a decentralized system. It's an open system. Anybody can be a part of anything. Now, if we were to combine all these technologies together under one roof, we could make a simple idea reality with no money. What we have done is, we have brought it down to a mobile application, just like WhatsApp or maybe Facebook Lite. Imagine that you can just put in a sentence and it becomes a business with a lot of people who would like to support you, or maybe just one AI who's your digital partner. So we need to learn mobile entrepreneurship because this is the future. It's just us and a mobile. There's nothing more. There's no laptop. There's no internet. There is internet, but we are going to the level of 4G, not even 3G, not even going to 5G. It is changing every day. We are improving in technology. So we would like to invite you to join this revolution of mobile entrepreneurship. We will be conducting a small session with a live demo tomorrow. I hope we will all be present again. Can I have any more questions at this point before I leave? Please, can I have a mic here?
Hello?
Yeah.
I have a question about Bitcoin.
Okay.
Who determines the value of the Bitcoin? I mean, does it depend on the regular currency?
Well, like Bitcoin is, it's very confusing if you put it out like that because it is a certain level of, I would say, money chain system is also involved in Bitcoin. Because that is the reason I'm not promoting or talking much about Bitcoin because it's very confusing and I'm not sure if there are people who is investing in Bitcoin and I wouldn't want to create a fear factor. It would be nice if we could have a direct one-on-one discussion about cryptocurrency. Any more questions? Will that be all? Thank you.